Hey everybody, and welcome back to My Liege. This is a strategy simulation game set in medieval times where you play a lesser lord. You're not a king, you're never going to be the king, and you're really not that important in the grand scheme of things. But you have people who depend on you to live, and you have to balance their needs against the needs of the lords above you, all the way up to the king. In the first episode, we had successfully staved off a land grab from a neighboring lord, did our best to prepare for a possible early winter, and met the call of our liege lord for troops and keeping the peace. All in all, I felt like we had a successful first episode, which ended with the onset of winter. And that's where we're going to pick up episode 2 of My Liege. The winds of winter also bring with them the return of the soldiers. Weary from their journey, they are welcomed home by family. Act 1, The Lord's Mount. Oh, so that was just the prologue. So it's mid-March, it looks like we survived the winter, and we have 2 reports, our winter food report and the spring returns. So let's check on the winter food report first, see how we did. My lord, with the long winter, our food stores ran low, yet the granary at Crest Hall was able to support us. That's good, we contributed. We had finished checking in on everybody in town and can warrant that we suffered no casualties and has no sick workers from the winter. Were it not for High Lord Bennington's planning an emergency granary, we would have been in for a rough winter. Well, in all fairness, we contributed a bunch of food to that granary, so wouldn't we have been fine anyway? It's more like we upped our street cred while still taking care of ourselves. All right, so what does Spring Return have to say? The people of Geekton take to the fields and are eager to get back to work. Lord Geek, with winter gone, let us look ahead to growing thy house and influence. Okay, and that is the end of this week's chores. So now we hit the next week and we're given another list of items. Like in this case, house improvements and the High Lord decree about the watermill. Oh, let's find out about that. That's kind of important. Greetings, Lord Geek. I be Sir Mary Bennington, one of High Lord Bennington's sworn companions. We are here to discuss the conflict last fall with Lord Carlbridge. The High Lord reviewed accounts from both sides, and hath determined that House Carlbridge failed to uphold the king's peace. Thou and House Geek are fit to continue ruling over the watermill on Miller's Island. See, we made the right choice. This doth not change the border betwixt thy houses, the river shall remain the line. Yet we shall be visiting Lord Carlbridge next to compose to them we expect no further tension betwixt thy houses. Okay, so I think that defending ourselves and not pressing a counterattack really endeared us to the High Lord. Thou honor us with thy trust, and there will be no future issues from us. Yeah, that's... 'Tis good to hear. Take care, and the High Lord looks forward to continued geek flower coming to Crest Hall. Okay, so we thread the needle pretty carefully there. I think we handled that well. We just got to be careful that Lord Carlbridge doesn't seek vengeance for this being made a fool of. All right, so let's see about the house improvements. Good day, my lord. Now that spring is upon us, time calls upon us in regards to what improvements thou desire to compose these coming months. You shall meet with the Castilian Charles Keep, Master-at-Arms Martin Smith, and myself to hear our proposed improvements for consideration. House Geek's resources are limited, so we shall only be able to pursue 3 initiatives, and we shall want to know what is high priority and what be low priority. All right, so that's going to be next week. We're going to hear the different proposals and pick the top 3 that will further our prosperity as a house. All right, so let's skip ahead to the end of March 1351. Okay, we got the improvement ideas. Oh, a peace deal from Lord Carlbridge. This could be interesting. Lord Geek, Lord Carlbridge extends their regards and wants to put this nasty business with the watermill behind us. Okay, well, maybe don't attack us. Mine Lord Carlbridge is offering to buy flour from thou at a premium as a token of good faith. Thy lord is most gracious, yet we only hast enough extra flour for 1 trade partner after ourselves in what we sell to the High Lord. My lord, a moment to discuss, if we shall. Okay, what is it? Okay, so our choices are trade flour at normal prices, trade flour at 25% markup. You know what? We're going to trade flour with them at normal price. Most honorable in offer. A sure way to mend the relationship. Yeah, we want to show them there's no hard feelings. We don't need to punish them. Lord Carlbridge shall be most pleased to know thou art willing to move forward and forge a peace for the betterment of the valley. Yeah, that's what it is. We want peace. Yep. Now we're just trying to look good in the eyes of the High Lord, who already humiliated the guy. Okay, so let's move on to some of the improvement ideas for our house. Excellent timing, my lord. I was just reviewing our current infrastructure and have some proposals for you to weigh. As the smallest of the noble houses, we have the least to offer our High Lord. To help change that, I think we should build new buildings for us to grow into new spaces. My 3 ideas are to build an inn, a bank, and lastly, stables and pastures. Which would you like to know more about? All right, let's talk about the stables. There is a lack of quality horses in the valley, so we should consider building stables and pasture to fill that need. We would have a lot to learn before we could call ourselves master horse trainers, yet should we succeed, every knight of the valley shall crave a geek horse. Okay, I like that idea. What about an inn? Currently, most travel destined for the High Lord's seat of Cresthall goes through House Stocklands because they have more to offer traders in Stockholm. We need to give travelers better options than sleeping beneath their wagons when passing through. Okay, let's talk about the bank. The bank would go in the middle of town by the market, encouraging merchants to invest their gold with us. Do not underestimate the influence a bank could give us over others. The more we can borrow to others, the more leverage we have over them. Just make sure we have enough guards to keep it from being robbed, and our coffers shall be overflowing with gold in a matter of a year or 2. All right, so those are all 3 good choices. Stables, inn, bank. Let's see what the Master-at-Arms has to say. My lord, thanks for meeting with me to discuss possible improvements I desire. Thou knowest how important it is we improve our defenses and army after what befell us with House Carlbridge. We need to bolster ourselves beyond just our current house guard. We also need guard towers to alert us sooner to issues. All right, let's find out about the guard towers. Our guards and patrols would make use of outposts to stay safe. Watchtowers could warn of other houses' maneuvers and defend against invaders. Okay, what about the guards? First option, we recruit and train a small standing army of our own. The other houses would take notice that we can react with conviction when threatened. This should be a slow process, as we shall need to recruit and spend the better part of the year training, not to mention the cost of the gear. Second option, hire mercenaries. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hiring mercenaries. Their loyalty would be quite questionable. Okay, and let's talk to the steward last and see what he has to offer us. My Lord Geek, it is time we discuss the current state of our house and the areas that I believe we should be prioritizing. Despite being the smallest house in the valley, we have strengths that we can nurture, namely our millers and our farms. We have the best millers in the valley. Flour is our main export, and with the recent troubles at the watermill, it behooves us to build new windmills on our southern hills to be less dependent on the river. This would cement our position in the valley as the primary source of flour and ground grains. Where would we make more farms? The field north of town is empty and ready for use. We are barely self-sufficient currently, so it would be prudent to build more farms to keep ahead of our food needs. We can sell our excess to other houses, yet we will be competing with House Stock, as they also supply the capital with food. All right, so we have some tough decisions to make. I'm thinking that since we're already the lead flour exporter, we should bolster that and really lean into that and make that our strength. All right, so we advance the week and we have to choose the 3 projects we're going to focus on. Okay, so we'll go to the high priority one first. And I believe, what should we do? Well, I think I also want to get a geek army together just to defend us. And I probably should build one of the buildings. But I think the high priority right now should be either building the windmills or recruiting a geek army. I think I'm going to go with the windmills. This will allow us to expand milling and cement our place as master millers of the valley. And then I think our second priority will be building the army. Training our own army will take time, but will be more loyal and cheaper than mercenaries. And then we will go over to our third low priority, and that's going to be which one? Oh, should it be the stables? That would allow us to diversify a little bit. But the inn could also really help bring in some money. I think we're going to go with the inn first. We can expect increased visitors, leading to more gold and favorable opinions of Geekton. Okay, I feel like I feel comfortable with that. Hopefully this doesn't all backfire on me. So we're going to advance the week. Uh-oh. High Lord summons? Is that going to be a problem? On the morrow, a friendly face arrives and is admitted to thy study. Abigail Geek. When thy steward said I would find thee here, I thought to find thee napping. Imagine my surprise to see my lord sibling working on ledgers and messages. Oh, so you're my sister, huh? 'Tis good to see you, Abigail. It has been too long. I miss thee too, my dear sibling. Working in the capital has its perks, yet it is nice to come home on occasion. So why are you here? I come bearing news from the High Lord. You have been summoned to the capital for a Lord's Mount. I wanted to follow up on deals here for our capital allies, so I chose to deliver the message myself. Should we ask what the reason for the Lord's Mount is? Or should we make some more small talk? What is the reason for this Lord's Mount? The meeting is for the lords of the sworn noble houses of the Western Valley to discuss matters affecting the whole valley. I suspect the most important item will be the selection of a new High Arm, the High Lord's second in command, with the current High Arm soon to leave for the King's court. Oh god, I don't want to be hand to the king. I know what happened to Ned Stark in Game of Thrones. How hast thy time been as lordsman in the capital? Has been fairly successful. I count more and more of the minor nobles in the capital as an ally with every season, but I still struggle to convince some of the more noble highborns to meet with me. They think our house too small to truly belong in their ranks. As thy lordsman, I've been able to have audiences with the High Lord, yet without an official spot on the High Lord's council, there's only so much I can do. How long do we have to make plans? 'Tis set to begin in a month. In the meantime, thou will need to determine who will serve as acting Lord of Geekton in thy absence. Should thou wish, I could serve as acting Lord in thy stead, or return to the capital with thee to attend the Lord's Mount as thy advisor. That would probably be the more helpful option, since you already know people there, and you could guide me through the political landscape. Ah, Lord Geek. I'd be pleased to announce we are beginning work on the new windmills. The Master Miller is looking forward to having a new place to work out of, far from House Carlbridge and the likes. I should expect it to take a month or so to build all, at which point we should see flour production increase and a new trade partner may need to be found. Alright, so I feel like we're making the right choices at the moment. So let's see. We jump ahead to April 21st. Alright, there's my son. Good morrow. I was just telling the guards about the Lord's Mount being called. Is it true I may be in charge while you're away? I shall not let those dishonorable curs from Bridgemont get anywhere near our borders. Yeah, this is why we don't leave 10-year-olds in charge. Okay, what do I got to say for him here? Chastise them for insulting House Carlbridge so openly. A lord must be honorable even to those who have wronged them, or remind them that they may still yet come to the capital. Well, it could be good to bring him to the capital, but I don't know what I'm walking into yet. I just have a hard time leaving him here alone. Let's see what the steward has to say. I doth miss the capital, yet I cannot go with thou and Lord Consort Geek on this trip. No, you need to stay here and oversee everything. That's your job, buddy. I do hope you're able to parlay our new improvements which thou so wisely ordered into stronger ties with our fellow noble houses. All right, buddy, who do you think I should take with me? May I recommend you leave the young lordling, Kid Geek, in charge here at Geekton and take your sibling, Abigail, to the capital. That is the direction I was leaning. I can help guide the little lordling as they get first-hand experience as the lord they shall someday be. They have much potential, yet they are young and need experience like this. All right, so we advance to the next week, which is the end of April, correct? April 28th. Army recruitment update and acting lord appointment. Okay, let's get our army recruitment update. My lord, 'tis a humble start, yet it feels so good to be preparing a proper standing army. There is only so much that our normal guard and barracks can handle. With a dedicated troop of fighters and training grounds, we should be able to protect ourselves better and exert our influence more effectively. Depending on how successful recruitment is, I am hopeful to assemble around 10 to 20 to form a formidable troop that even the largest houses would regard twice before tussling with. Okay. You know what, guys? I think this is where we're going to end this episode of My Liege. Let me know down in the comments who you think I should choose to bring with me to the Lord's Mount. Should it be my son or should it be my sister? Which one should stay and rule in my stead, and which one should come with me? If you guys are enjoying My Liege on the channel, hit that like button to let us know. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It helps us to grow the channel, and you never miss an episode of content. We'll be back tomorrow with another video for you. Thanks for watching.